Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into Wudu, that essential Islamic ritual of purification. It's really the key that unlocks formal prayer.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're gonna start with the why, the core meaning behind Wudu. Then we'll walk through the actual steps. After that, we'll break down what's absolutely essential versus what's recommended. And finally, we'll talk about how this all fits into our busy modern lives. All right, first things first, the why. Why is Wudu so incredibly important? I mean, it's about way more than just washing up, right? This is all about a deep spiritual preparation. And this quote from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, really hits it home. No salah is accepted without wudu. It's so direct. Basically, it's telling us that without this specific purification, the formal prayer or salah just isn't considered complete. It's non-negotiable. Okay, so let's define it clearly. What is wudu? Well, you can think of it as this mandatory ritual that gets a person ready on every single level, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's that process of cleansing yourself before you stand in the presence of God. Okay, now for the fun part, the how. Let's actually walk through the whole process, step by step, so you can see exactly how it's done. Everything starts in the heart, with your intention, your niyyah. Then you say Bismillah, and the physical part begins. So you start with washing your hands 3 times. Then you move to rinsing your mouth, also 3 times. After that, you cleanse your nose, and finally wash your whole face from forehead to chin, ear to ear. And yep, you guessed it, all 3 times each. All right, let's finish this up. Next, you wash both of your arms, all the way up to and including the elbows. Now, pay attention here, because this is different. You wipe your head, you don't wash it, and that's just once. You use that same water to clean your ears. And to wrap it all up, you wash your feet up to the ankles. The whole thing concludes with this powerful spiritual declaration, the Shahada, and a prayer for purity. Okay, this next part is super important to understand. You know those 11 steps we just went through? Well, not all of them are created equal. Some parts are absolutely mandatory for your wudu to even count, while others are highly recommended acts that just make the whole ritual more complete and perfect. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. Look, on the left, you've got the 4 fard acts. These are the obligatory must-do parts. If you miss even one of these, your wudu is invalid. Simple as that. Now on the right, you have the Sunnah acts. Think of these as the practices of the Prophet that complete and perfect the ritual. You know, things like washing 3 times or always starting on your right side. So that naturally leads to the big question, right? How long does this state of purity actually last? I mean, when do you have to do it all over again? So here's the deal. Your wudu is good to go until one of these nullifiers occurs. We're talking about pretty normal stuff like, using the restroom or falling into a deep sleep. There are a few others on the list too. If any of these things happen, no big deal. You just perform wudu again before your next prayer. So that's the theory. But how does this ancient, really beautiful practice actually work in our crazy modern lives? Let's get practical. Okay, this is probably one of the most useful and practical allowances out there. Check this out. If you do a full wudu and then put your socks on, you don't have to take them off for your next prayer. Seriously? Instead of a full wash, you can just do a simple, single wipe right over the top of each sock. It's a total game changer, especially in public or when it's cold. And here are a few more little life hacks for keeping up with wudu. Whether you're at the office, traveling, or just trying to stay focused in a world full of distractions, there are always simple solutions. The practice is designed to be adaptable. So at the end of the day, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. Wudu is so much more than just a physical act of washing. It's a deep spiritual reset. It's a cleansing of those minor sins, and most importantly, it's about preparing your heart to truly connect with God. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a little something to think about. How can you, this week, approach your wudu a little differently? How can you turn it from just a routine you rush through into a really conscious, mindful moment of devotion and renewal? It's something worth considering.